Hey everyone's popping in real quickly to say the content warnings as there's a 9/11 mention and really gross talk about sex. Anyway, enjoy the episode.
Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Why Didn't We Watch This Movie? I'm Finn,
And I'm Sky.
and today we're joined by
Jakob!
And
And that's a scary thing.
Wonderful.
and today we ask, why did we watch Fantastic Four?
Alright, Fantastic Four 2005. During a space voyage, four scientists are altered by cosmic rays. Reed Richards gains the ability to stretch his body, Sue Storm can become invisible, Johnny Storm controls fire, and Ben Grimm is turned into a super strong thing. Together, these Fantastic Four must now thwart the evil plans of Doctor Doom and save the world from certain destruction. So even the summary of the movie is having fun with it. So, did you just enjoy this movie?
It's a fun movie, yeah.
Greatly.
Would you say fantastically?
Fantastically. Damn it, I should have fucking said that. Oh,
This opportunity there, Jacob.
opportunity.
Yeah. Get owned.
But I like it. It's a very nostalgic film for me, but I can't say it's like one I go back to frequently.
That's
Super
fair. That's
genuinely-
understandable.
I'm super genuinely surprised how much I enjoyed it. I was thinking that it was like going to be like a bad, fun movie, but I ended up just actually really finding it to be quite a good superhero movie.
Yeah, definitely.
You say that through like brief conversations in the past, I've heard that you didn't like it.
No, not that I didn't like it. There were too many underlying issues that stood out to me where I was like, this is kind of whack.
Name one.
Johnny Storm is a massive womanizer.
Why is that a bad thing?
Why is it a good thing?
Why is it a good thing, Jacob?
Because it's very interesting, a funny thing for his character.
He doesn't learn from it, though.
It's not meant to be treated as a bad thing.
Yeah, but being
It's
a
not what the movie's
womanizer
about.
isn't a good thing.
It's not what the movie's about.
It's not. If it's not a good thing, then I can't like put it down as like something where I'm like, oh yeah, this guy is a bit of a shithead, but that doesn't take away from my enjoyment.
Yeah, 'cause
It was.
it's about it. The movie was never about him being less of a shithead. It's about them coming together as a team.
Yeah, but one of the factors that led to my disenjoyment was Johnny Chris Evans Storm.
Really? He is one of, if not my favorite part of the entire movie. I love this kind of character. The womanizing is whatever, I don't really care for it. But I don't know how he's so much of a thrill seeker. He's so fucking ADHD with everything. And I don't know, he's so hyped to be a superhero, unlike every other person. I find that very, very endearing. Because this is how we would be. This is how a lot of people would be if they gain superpowers. They would want to do something with it. They would want to, be like Johnny Storm and show it off and be a big deal. Whereas every the others are and some of the superhero movies are like, oh, I gotta hide this, or getting very responsibility focused with it, which is good. I love that part of superheroes as well. But I love this, him being so excited about having powers.
I mean, I get that. That is probably one of his more positive characteristics.
That's his main characteristic.
And I think, I mean, in terms of like people like the other ones not being that fond of what just happened, I mean, Ben Grimm did get turned into a giant rock monster.
Yeah.
He's probably not having a good time.
Yeah, the
And his
thing.
wife of many years also just left him because he's a giant rock monster.
Yeah, but she's insane. That is none of that's on him. She's correct. Like that's such a rude and
Rude.
unreasonable way to act.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Debbie was heartless. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Debbie was
Okay,
crazy.
no.
It's fine. He found a nice blind girl.
I am
But no, I 1,000%
really glad
agree with you.
they put Alyssa in this.
Oh yeah, Alyssa's great.
Alyssa, is that the blind girl?
Yes,
Why do you know her name?
because they say it in the movie.
The comics.
Ew, you read comics? Yeah.
Me and Finn have both read Marvel comics.
Yeah,
Although I haven't read Fantastic Four comics though.
I've read bits and pieces of Fantastic Four.
I've read some Man Thing, some Punisher, Nick Fury. I was about to say Nick Cage, but that's not correct.
And I watched this movie with my bi friend Josh, and for him, this movie could not have been better. There is so much eye candy on both ends of what they would do in 2005 that it's for the whole family.
It's for the whole family with how much designated eye candy there is.
Yeah. My dad liked this movie on Sue Storm alone. And I'm
Well,
sure
shout out to Jacob's dad.
My mom loves Chris Evans.
Well, which one do you think is the most attractive in this?
Go on,
I
Jacob.
must know. Wait, which one did you say, Finn?
I said, "Go on, Jacob."
Oh yeah.
I've thought about these Sue Storm scenes for a very long time. It is one of my one of the early memories of watching movies, and that are implanted in my brain forever.
I mean, for me, I've always had a soft spot for Reed Richards. I like.
knew you were gonna say.
I
Yeah.
love that sexless dweeb.
I want to get up to him in just a second, but yep, no, understandable.
You're
I
gonna
thought
say
you were
the
either going to say
Thing?
Richards or the Thing.
Look, he's a close second.
I think the Thing pulls in just clutch enough for me, but Reed is a close second.
That's crazy.
I love how none of us went with the male sex symbol.
Yeah,
I'm not
funny
that
that,
into
huh?
I'm not in the men. I don't know what to say.
Keep telling yourself that. Anyway.
But okay, back onto Reed Richards for a second. Like I know it's one of the things that like people talk about is like Reed Richards. He's meant to be a bit of a knob, and like not really accounting for other people's feelings. I think he might just be a little autistic.
Oh shit!
It's not that he's like trying to discount anyone's feelings. He just doesn't know that other people have feelings.
Like,
are you saying projection?
I think he is just a distant guy, you know?
I did I did write my third note in the film is when they were going up to the space station for the first time and Sue Storm was standing there, cleavage out, and he just looks at her and goes, "Your suit isn't done up." I
was like, when that scene first came up, and I was looking at it, I'm like, "Oh, he's staring at her boobs. Good for him. He is attracted to women." To his partner that he had for years, and then he just tells her that's not how you wear it. Like, what the fuck?
yeah, my third note is read you autistic dweeb. The titties were right there.
It's really
She was flaunting to you, brother. He's like, oh, you gotta know how to wear it correctly. Actually. Oh, Reed Richards, you dumb fuck. Another smart dumbass.
High intelligence, low wisdom.
Yeah. I just really. Oh wait, fuck. Where is it?
What was that?
You know what?
Men having sex.
I was trying. Oh, okay, here we go. It's just not in the regular spot. Oh, nope, that's not correct.
What are
That
you
is
doing,
not the right
talking
Wikipedia.
about?
I was trying to find the Wikipedia for Fantastic Four, and I was going to do the box office earnings and shit.
Oh, I've already seen it, so.
Oh, okay, well, give me a second, and I will. Let
Have
me
you
actually
seen it
get it
yet?
up.
Sky, have you seen it yet?
I have, yes.
You have. That's going
Yeah.
to do it for you.
Yeah, sorry. Jacob, my good friend, what do you
Yeah.
think the budget and the box office were?
I assume both pretty high, or the budget probably lower than I would expect because of modern movies. It's hard to put myself into a 2005 budget mindset. I think uh, like 100 million to make, and then I think this made probably a good amount. I mean, they made a second one.
Yeah.
I remember this
Yeah.
being everywhere for a while, and it definitely made a lot in toy sales. Like,
True, yeah. But how much? I mean, how much?
300 million?
Jacob, you are pretty on the money because
Really?
budget 87 to 100 million, box office 333.5 million.
I'm the goat. Let's go.
Oh my god, you know you surprised me. You surprised me once again,
I
Jacob.
thought I was so far off.
Oh my god, I'm so proud of you.
Yes, we did really well.
But yeah, so good job there. So let me see. Let's see what else is there. Oh, yeah. Do you guys like the subtle foreshadowing in this?
For what?
Which one?
Like there were parts in this where was it when Richards like where Reed and Ben they're like, hey, excuse me, Von Doom, can we please have some money? And can we do an experiment? And he's like, Reed Richards, always reaching for the stars.
Oh no! But so
You know,
yeah, I mean, but I think they're going into this like 2005, and everyone's seen the posters. Like everyone knows where the fuck this is going.
yeah,
It's not being like I
Also,
can't.
the comics have been around since the 60s.
Yeah.
I
I
thought they were around earlier than that.
I think this is a pretty big part that I think a lot of people probably wouldn't rate the movie highly on, but I actually think has a very positive aspect. I think it increases my rating of the movie. How honest it is with how corny and how camp the idea of all this is. Like they take it seriously of like them having powers, them exploring them, and them being this, but they're very aware the entire time, and they're not like taking it too seriously. Like they're very aware we're making a movie about a comic book, and we're going to like just live in that world and live in those like less serious aspects of the comic book world. Of like everything being kind of corny sometimes, and them having those like jabby bits of like clearly, we know what's going on here, guys. We know what kind of fucking movie we're here to watch. Let's not get all weird about it. And I think a lot of modern day comic movies kind of don't have, and haven't had in a very long time since like the start of the Marvel era, where comic book movies are very much taken like quite, not even just seriously, but also taken as if the world itself is fully serious. Whereas the Fantastic Four, this world exists in a already like pretty fantastical place, where like they become superheroes, and the first thing they do is just become celebrities, and like there isn't much of a gap between that.
Mm.
And they like make toys of it. It's a world more set in like the idea of superheroes are a thing. Like we just have those, and wow, these guys are a new cool superhero team. I feel like it's a world that could have a lot more, and this isn't that big of a deal because no one acts like it's that big of a deal.
Yeah, but at the same time, they never even mention another superhero at all in the film.
Yeah, but I think that's okay though, because you don't like.
Well, there's also like other reasons for that as well because they
Yeah, licensing and all that.
licensing
I get that,
shit.
but-
Which I always thought was like a weird thing. I'm like, really? These are the only superheroes in this world? And it's just these 4 goofballs? But then, being an adult now, I'm like, no, there definitely would have been. It's just, licensing and rise, and that they didn't get the plot out yet for like to build up their world with full of superheroes that fight in and for America.
But okay, Scott. But like something that they do in this one is like they. Shit, I lost the plot. You fucked me with your America thing. Someone else.
Oh, because I'm right.
I'll circle back.
Circle back. Okay. Nope, I don't remember either.
No, like so. Okay, what do you think of the movie? Like as a movie, like it's separating from like these funny moments in it. Did you?
I honestly think I might bump up my rating at least, like maybe at least half a star to a full star. Because I did give it 2, which I do feel bad for now because, like, just thinking about it more now, I'm like, look, it knows the kind of silliness that is a comic book, and its dialogue and script is written like a comic book, and it's just like, they know it's a bit of a silly world they live in, but they take it in full seriousness, and you're just coming along with them, and I think that's great because I think one of the problems that a lot of modern superhero movies have is that they're like, yeah, it's a bit silly, and we're going to try and improve it so it doesn't look so silly. But it's like, no, show me that silly, dumb shit, and make them act out with that silly and dumb shit. But I know that's just me.
What I was going to say was the biggest thing and why I really like this movie and why for me it's like for superhero movies I think it's like a 4 out of 4 stars for me.
4
like
star.
Genuinely, because what this does for the origin story I think is a thing that is super good. This movie is about these people getting powers and about that journey. It isn't about like getting powers in the first 20 minutes and then the rest of the movie is about stopping some evil with the powers. No. It is about them getting the powers, them learning their powers, learning to live with them, learning to accept them, learning to commit to their new lives. And like Doctor Doom existing in this is another extension of this exact same thing. He's someone who also getting these powers, also coming to accept them, and taking that different path of doing it for himself. With these guys taking the path of, all right, let's do this so we can help other people. And I think that's a very good way of having this. They didn't need to make the stakes high because we don't need the stakes to be high. Like I don't feel like we do, and I feel like having this story being centered around these people and these people's experience with these powers is super good. Like Ben, the thing gets so much story around his experience with gaining these abilities and him having to grow and learn to accept. Oh, I need to treat these powers not as a thing I'm forced into, but as a gift to help people and like everyone going through their own little arcs in that way. And I think that's so nice and interesting. And I like seeing it more. I love these abilities, and I love seeing how they interact with them and learn to use them. It's such a creative thing that I want to see more and more media. So for me, it just rates a 4. Like I love it for that.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, Finn, do you have anything like that in particular that you'd like that you want to talk about?
Well, to be honest, most of it's already been brought up.
And like your general thoughts, like what do you rate?
Well, it could be things that you didn't particularly like.
Well, from the position of having read a couple of the comics and knowing a bit more about them from like the universe they came from and all that. Also, by the way, Sky, you mentioned earlier the first one was in 1961.
Oh, it was okay.
Yeah.
I for some reason thought it was. I thought for some reason it was in the 40s, but no, 60s does sound correct now.
But no, I think this did a really good job of modernizing the origin story of the Fantastic Four. Because, like, in the original, they were cosmonauts. Like, keeping in mind that the original came out before man had even stepped on the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just cosmonauts who got hit by a random space cloud, and I think they did a really good job of modernizing that by having them be scientists researching the effects of cosmic radiation uh on different shit, which they never
Okay,
really
yeah.
yeah. And it just being a terrible accident. Granted, I now realize, thinking back on it, they never they never went back and said how they got back to Earth.
That's true. My assumption was like maybe
Well,
like Reed or something woke up and they're like, oh shit, this isn't good. There's probably a
yeah,
lot of
no,
radiation here.
this
Or
is
a rescue
the
team
kind
came and got them.
there's a lot of these kinds of things in the movie where you just kind of go like, ah, yeah, it works. It
Yeah,
works. They got there.
It's,
Like how their machine works for like them getting rid of the powers. It's like, so you made this machine that can take away powers and give powers?
well, no, they actually do explain that it recreates the effects of the cosmic cloud,
No, I get that. Does that mean anyone can go in there and get a power?
presumably.
Presumably.
I'm gonna say yes. Everyone has the power built into their DNA.
Well,
So everyone's power is going to be different.
I'm pretty
in
sure
that case,
I'm pretty sure the implication is that that is not the case at all. That they were like doing things that related to them getting a thing.
yeah, because in that,
Well-
if that were the case, then they would just be mutants, a different thing in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, they were late bloomers,
Yeah,
as an X-Men would say. But
Yeah.
well, with things on how they relate to each other, I don't know if there really was anything, at least in this movie, that related to anything.
What do you mean?
Like-
yeah, there's no
Yeah,
reference
yeah,
to the movie, but I think that that
Like,
wouldn't be a thing then.
okay, like, look, maybe I can understand Ben Grimm, I can understand Ben and Victor's ones, because Victor was surrounded by the stuff that was going to block off the radiation from the cloud.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh wow, I'm turning into the material that was blocking off the radiation. And then Ben just got absolutely pummeled by pure radiation, so he became rocks. Which we
Yep.
know which is just what happens when you get radiation poisoning.
Yeah, you turn into rocks. That's why all
Yeah,
those
you turn into rocks.
That's why all those Chernobyl flowers turned into rocks.
Yeah, as we know, the elephant's foot is just a big pile of rocks.
Yeah,
But I don't think there was really explanation for what happened to Reed or to
Yes.
Sue or to Johnny.
You're thinking
'Cause-
too deep. You're
Yeah.
thinking too deep.
well,
I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
there's not much of an
Dude.
explanation on why they ended up like that.
in all
You're putting
fairness,
more
the
thought
comics
in
there
than
isn't
they did.
either.
Yeah, you're putting more thought into them than they did, Sky. You're
Yeah.
going down the wrong path.
I know. I was just pointing out. I'm like, no, I don't think they really put that much thought into why they got these specific powers, because, like, you could argue, like, Ben and Victor's ones make sense, but I don't think the others make sense.
You
And I
could
mean,
say that
hey-
when Sue was going around, like you could make arguments for it, like that, like you could rationalize it, but I don't think there's much of a worth in.
I
Like,
don't.
you could say Sue was walking on an observation deck at the time, so like she got hit through glass, so like she could turn transparent and make like walls, which is like it was a glass
That-
wall. Or like Johnny, there was like a fire explosion in front of him when he would hit, or like I don't know about fucking Reed.
I don't know, because he flew so far back, his back broke, and he's just
Oh
turned
yeah,
into rubber.
he was like stretching
some
out
shit.
what was happening.
I mean, hey, look, Jacob, I can't wait for you to watch Fan Four Stick. Because-
it's terrible.
No, because like the way they justify how they got all their powers is so stupid.
Yeah, I don't think they needed to necessarily.
Oh, they do.
No, I know, but in this one, I don't.
On this one, no, not at all.
They didn't need to do it.
Oh no, like I'm fully on board with like they don't actually need to. It's fine. I don't need to think about like, oh yeah, this happened because of this reason. I'm just fine believing that these goofy scientists just got hit by a radiation cloud and boom, got powers.
Yeah,
I'm perfectly fine with that.
okay.
Also-
I'm curious, Finn. What is your rating for the movie?
I gave it a 3.
Can you two explain to me why? Like, what do you see as what it fails enough that it doesn't deserve more? Because Finn's like, okay, it's mid, and Sky, you're saying it's bad.
Well, no, I said I was probably gonna boost it up a little bit, but like, otherwise, like for me, like I don't know, just parts of it just didn't draw me in enough. It felt like it parts of it were trying. I don't know. I just didn't really like a lot of the character writing. Cause look, here's the thing, Sue, Reed, and Victor are pretty bland, and they don't give a lot. Whereas like Ben, he gives a lot, and then Johnny gives probably too much, but he gives. But then I don't know, just like some of the character writing just didn't land for me.
So, like, you never found yourself getting very invested in like what they had going on.
Yeah, just I don't know, they like parts like at times it was just like it's I was like, okay, I'm just watching these characters. They don't act like they're important to the overarching story, but I know they are. But they don't draw me in like they should.
I mean, yeah, because it's not. I mean, it's not really like a big plot movie. It's more of a. It's like it's more just like a character-driven thing. Like there isn't really like a big P plot.
I mean, hey,
I think that's like the part of it. Like no one feels really tied because there isn't really that big of a big thing going on.
I mean, hey, Finn, thoughts?
Well, like I agree with Sky in that I don't think a lot of the characters were very well written, with the exception of Ben Grimm. I thought that especially what you call it, Sue Storm was very poorly written, and I thought Jessica Alba's acting was very flat. I did like Julian McMahon as Doctor Doom. I thought he was quite good. And like I think Michael Chiklis was born to play the Thing. Like he is, in my opinion, the best performance ever that has for the Thing, like in all of the adaptations.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that.
I like Chris Evans as Johnny Storm. I agree that he's probably the best performance as Johnny Storm, but I just don't like Johnny Storm as a character.
I'm on. Yeah, no, fair enough.
I thought that the film got shockingly gory for a PG film at points.
Really? When?
Really?
Like, the scene that comes to mind, and I even wrote it down, was the scene where Doctor Doom fully blasts a hole through someone's
through a guy's
chest.
Oh,
and it shows actual viscera.
Yeah.
Like, once again, PG film, and
They get one of those.
No, they don't.
They trade in their swear word for once.
Yeah.
They trade in their fuck to get viscera.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. That's the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like surprise. I was like, oh, okay. I forgot about that. But I'm not. Me personally, I'm like not complaining too much about that. Because I was like, oh, that's a surprise.
I also thought that even for 2005, the CGI wasn't particularly good.
Really?
Because I thought it was like, it wasn't. I mean, look, for 2005 stands, I was like, it's all right.
Yeah, the Johnny Storm CG is like pretty good.
Okay, the Johnny Storm CG was pretty
The
decent.
only one that's like kind of iffy was, that was very iffy, is Elastic Man, but I don't think they ever get Elastic Man in any media.
Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Elastic.
Mr. Elastic is a completely different guy. Sorry. Yes, Mr.
Yeah.
Fantastic. His is by far like, not good. But
I also thought that the fully unsuited Doctor Doom looked shit. Like right at the end when he was being surrounded, when they were in the big final fight and he was disrobed for some reason and completely nude.
Yeah.
I thought he did look particularly shit in that.
Yeah. Nothing.
But like,
he was derobed.
to ignore it, like the CGI definitely gets iffy. But like the practical effects for the thing is so good.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, that's amazing. That's
It
amazing.
is
Like,
insane how good he looks.
it's a shame that they. It is a shame that they didn't try to do practical effects for. I was about to say the Human Torch. Ooh.
It light a
but-
man on fire. Goodbye,
but
Chris
for
Evans.
Mr. Fantastic. Like, I've seen some really good practical effects for like stretchy effects.
Really? In what?
Uh,
I would know as well.
my mind goes to Doctor Who. Actually, a lot of the time that
Doctor
they've
Who
had,
for its effects? Ooh.
for its practical effects, yeah.
No, I'd agree with that.
For its CGI, no, fuck that. Like even
We've
as a
seen
fan,
that CGI.
even as a fan, I can admit it's terrible. But for practical effects, I always look to Doctor Who. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
But that, yeah,
I mean-
that's kind of besides the point.
Because I don't know, we'll get there with Fantastic, but I haven't seen that movie in a while. But when last I did, I do not remember it being good in that either.
Oh.
When we get to it, that was actually my first time watching Fantastic. Had you watched it before, Sky?
I did, but I could not remember anything past the opening scene.
I was just broken watching that film.
Which I mean,
Like,
We'll get to.
yeah,
we'll
which I mean,
we'll
like,
get to it.
I
yeah.
understand why I didn't remember anything because nothing happened.
Sky, say it.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh, the costumes are so good.
In this film, or
This film, oh my god,
Yeah, this film.
I do like the suits. Granted,
this is peak costuming to me.
See, you say that, but have you seen the ones for the new Fantastic Four?
Okay, as a non-comic book fan, I do not like them.
Really?
Really?
They look. I'm not the biggest fan of that 70s, 60s, like kind of costuming that makes it feel very like astronaut, which is like the point.
See,
I really like this kind of, because my feeling for it is like this early 2000s more like sleek, well color matched things where like I hate this being constantly a point, but like for me, this movie shows the biggest example of what I think so many movies lack, so many superhero media lack. Like the costuming might not exactly make the most sense in the world for like what they're supposed to do, but they look really good for them, and it's very easy to explain them to make sense. And with like the MCU edge, we either have very tactical looking clothing, which is fine, I don't mind it, or really fucking makes no sense CGI messes. And we very rarely get the in between. And I think this is such a good, like, completely separate area of just like this, like, the spandex. It's a very well done spandex thing. It's like the Spider-Man suits. They all look so good at it just being like this tight, well colored things.
Question.
See, I agree with that, Jacob. Like, I think for this sort of like 2000s era superhero film, these costumes are very good. But
Alba's so hot in it.
Sorry?
Thank God, Jessica Alba is so hot in it.
I disagree.
It says the game.
Not important. But
it's crazy how many times she gets naked in this movie. A few times she did not need to.
Crazy.
It is crazy. Anyway,
I remember thinking back on this movie before I like rewatched it for this. Of like, I remember her getting naked. I remember seeing her naked. I do not remember why she ever got naked.
Because she has to be invisible. Anyway,
but that makes that's so fucking stupid. She never needed to be invisible. It never came up.
But
Once.
yeah, that very classic 60s, what we would now consider like retrofuturism sort of aesthetic is legitimately one of my favorite aesthetics, like rivaling Cowboy up there.
Wait, this is a new one.
Just in general, that sort of aesthetic. And like I just adore that sort of look for that very 60s Jetsons vibe. It's just one of my favorite vibes. So I that's where I have to disagree.
Yeah, fair enough.
Scott, you wanted to ask a question earlier?
Yeah, sorry. Well, first off, I just saw. I don't know what this actually is. If it's, I'm assuming it's like a fan cast for Fantastic Four, and I could not despise it more.
Please.
It's still John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Emily Blunt as Invisible Woman.
Mm.
Zac Efron as Johnny Storm. And then Seth Rogen as the Thing.
Yeah, that's awful.
That's so awful. I hate that so much.
Fun fact, something I read, Hugh Jackman is apparently originally up for the role of Reed Richards before he got Wolverine.
Oh. I've heard a few people who are going to allegedly play Reed Richards, and then it...
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad it went to other man, and not Hugh Jackman.
I believe it's Ian Gruffland?
Yeah. Is it... Like, just looking at, like, just knowing the role of Reed Richards, Hugh Jackman, no, he does not fit that.
Absolutely not.
And apparently Paul Walker was originally up for Johnny Storm.
Absolutely not.
No.
See, I actually kind of like it.
I love Chris Evans so much.
Don't get me wrong, I think Chris Evans would have been better, but like I think Paul Walker would have also made a very good
Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm, yeah.
Mr. Storm.
Johnny Fantastic.
Johnny Fantastic, yeah.
As I keep calling him by accident.
Johnny Fantastic.
Johnny Fantastic, The Electric Man, Jessica Alba.
Oh yeah, so I want to talk. Well, I have two things here that I wanted to talk about specifically. One of them is an actual thing, and then the other one is just I don't remember why I wrote this.
Right.
So for the first thing like that I wanted to latch onto is wow, people moved quickly to latch onto Fantastic Four. Like as soon as they saved all those like firefighters off the bridge, they're like, fuck yeah, these are our heroes, let's go. And like they were already wearing masks and shit based on them. They were like, these are our heroes.
There's when we were watching it, Josh was my roommate was searching up like these things about the movie, like seeing reviews and why it was seen as bad back in the day, because people weren't a lot of a fan. Like critic ratings of this one was really bad, and the main problem people had with it was how fast paced it was. Where I think for modern day we kind of like this level of fast pacing. Whereas definitely back then they would not have appreciated like this kind of being super quick to everything. And yeah, you're right, Sky. They literally go from where this to now they love us to now like we're now saving the day, and like it is all super quick. And
I'm pretty sure this film does take place over the course of a couple months.
Yeah, but they're very not clear about that.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah. But also,
we just hear Reed constantly saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going as fast as I can." So like, has it been like 10 days? Like what?
Yeah, but also like that's kind of like very normal for that sort of era. Like you see a lot of like hyper commercialism back in that sort of day. Like that was the era of sort of like very fast rising celebrity. So it kind of doesn't surprise me how quickly that they were like, hey, you saved a bunch of firefighters, we love you, hey, we're gonna make a lot of rip-off merch of you. I
fucking love the action figure.
Oh my god.
The action finger.
There's also so many times in this movie that it's actually just so funny. Like with the the Johnny Storm bit with that he did to Ben before he became the Thing, like with the mirror. That's so funny.
For some reason, that's like one of the few scenes of this film I could really remember vividly.
Yeah, like that is genuinely an insanely good joke, and like they play it so well because it's a joke on us too, and like
Yeah.
I mean, I love that.
Yeah, and sorry, just to say, the thing I don't remember writing. So it says, "Damn, I mean, I know it's a shock, but I think the others might be worse." I don't remember what context I have there. For damn, I mean, I know it's a shock, but I think the others might be worse.
This feels like a weird riddle I'm trying to solve. What point in the film could that possibly be talking about?
I don't know, because it was before. It was before. Like the thing before it was saying the CGI doesn't look horrible, and then the thing after it was, wow, people quickly latched onto the F4. What could that be? Like maybe.
Okay. I assume it's something to do with the Thing. I'm
assuming so.
Yeah.
Like. Oh wait, no. I do remember. I think it was to do with his ex-wife seeing him like that. And I was like, girlie, it's not that bad.
She could have done worse.
It's like, look, I know it's a shock, but honey, things could have been a lot worse.
True.
He could have been dead.
He could have been dead. Yeah, but you still got your man back, and he's a rock. He can be your rock.
The crazy part too is all she needed to do was maybe hear him out for like 10 seconds, and he'd be like, "Yeah, Reed's working her way to fix it. It'll be done soon," which it is, and it does work. It's like.
Turns out all you need to do is use the entirety of the power source of New York City in one room.
Easy.
Which is then jump boosted by a man with electric powers.
Yeah. A man made of pure steel and a lightning. A man who got cucked so hard by the most rizless man in the world.
But that was such a weird. I think really poor part of this movie was what the fuck was Sue's and Doom's relationship even? Because she says at the end, him and I were never really a thing. Yeah, the fuck you were. Like what? He was going to propose to her. Like,
I think it's more of a he never really respected me sort of.
I think that's true. He was not like a bad partner.
He was just a bad person.
He's a terrible person, but he was never that bad of a partner. And like, he was like thinking of spending the rest of his life with her, and then she just the entire time, any time that Reed is around, is clearly like, I don't want to be with my boyfriend. I want to be with you instead. And Reed is just unable to process.
Whoa, another
like
human,
I said, sexless idiot.
Well, she wants to talk about science, and she's like, "No, I want to talk about us." He's like, "Us doing science?" You absolute fucking nerd, Reed Richards.
I will say, the one thing that I really don't like about this adaptation of the Fantastic Four compared to the one thing I actually think Fan Forstic did better.
Oh, crazy.
That's crazy.
Is showing how smart Sue Storm is.
Oh yeah, she's not.
Yeah, actually, no, I do agree with that.
This was clearly the eye candy and the woman.
Yeah,
the eye candy and the woman.
But in Fan Forstic, she is actually portrayed as on the same level as Reed. So
yeah, no, I agree with
eye
that.
candy in that one. So what is even the point?
I have one last note that I took down in this, which is when they're about to go into the final fight with Doctor Doom, when he looks in the mirror and sees more of his face has gotten metal. I just wrote, I'm sad about my metal face. let me go get a metaler face to cover it with.
There was an award or something?
I don't know what.
The idea is from the people of Latveria for his philanthropic efforts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like how Doctor Doom seemingly also hired the same architect that Tim Burton did when making the Batman movies.
Ah,
Yeah, oh my god! The fucking Reed. But Reed's lab is in like when we saw it from outside. I'm like, what the fuck is this building? Who built it? Like, who let? Like, what the fuck is the design for this top of this building? That's crazy.
it's
Yeah.
been a tough year.
It's been a tough year. Yeah.
More like 9.
It's like, oh yeah, Reed, zero money. Guy with zero money, penthouse, insanely massive penthouse.
Penthouse
he's a nepo
science
baby,
lab
isn't
with
he?
billions of dollars worth of science shit.
Yeah, like what the fuck are we talking about him being poor?
Oh, you see,
And
he spent all the money to do the science, but he spent no money on rent.
True. He says that was
He do- Unless it's to do with science, he has no concept of it outside of science.
it is
He's like,
crazy him having like
Money,
40
women.
fucking open shoe things. How do you get out? Like what is this building manager doing?
I assume the building manager is scared of all of the said science shit.
a
They know
mass-
the building manager knows
floor.
very well most of the things in that building cannot be taken down because it would either blow up or it just will not fit.
or he somehow knows it is hardwired into the building at this point.
If I tell him that if I kick him out, then he is going to unplug something and the building's going to go boom. I
Yeah.
can't risk it. He is going to do a terrorism. Which I mean,
He's
post
going
9/11, it's on everyone's mind.
especially in New York.
Yeah. Which my only other note for this was to do with the very end of the movie. Not about sending Doom back to his home country, which is
They deport Doctor Doom.
which is so confusing and questionable.
But like, I don't think so. It's like
You don't want to put him in prison?
It's his
There's a
corpse.
statue.
True. Okay, yeah.
Like they assume
But,
he's dead, so like, you're returning the corpse to where he would probably like in his will was like, I would like to be buried here.
in a shipping container.
How else?
Yeah. How like he's a solid metal statue. There's not like what are we doing here?
He was a solid metal statue, frozen in the same position as Bigfoot in the Patterson Gimlin footage.
True. Okay, yeah.
It does look like that.
The only thing is, he doesn't have giant titties like
Yeah.
the Bigfoot in the Patterson Gimlin
Yeah.
film. But no, I was talking about how literally like a couple months after they beat Doom and they were on a boat party, and then just Reed decided to propose to her, and she's like, "Hell yeah!" Like,
hell yeah, old boyf is dead. Let's get
yeah,
on
like,
it.
get on. Like, bitch, you no way you are getting married that quickly.
Give it, Scott. I think it's actually pretty realistic. Like they were together for years prior to that. Like they were ready. She was ready to like. They were about to live together, and like they were very ready to like do more and be more of a couple. But like he just couldn't commit to that more of a thing.
But once again, sexless idiot Reed Richards.
Sexless idiot, sexless his way out of it.
I can't wait to do science with you forever. My God, I mean, I guess it's just like, bro, like if you're gonna get back with someone, like maybe there's a bit you have to work through, but maybe it's trauma bonding because you had to kill your ex-boyfriend.
He agreed to be sex.
He agreed to be
He agreed to
sex.
be sex. Wonderful. But
I think I don't remember that much in the movie, but like I feel like that must have happened at some point.
well, I mean, look, he does now stretch, so he can do whatever he wants with.
any part of his body.
Look,
I love the reporter saying that.
Yeah.
oh yeah, but like, look, so here's the thing: they can go off like she can borrow his penis and stretch it out into one room, and then he can be on his laptop
Yeah.
doing science or whatever. He doesn't need to commit to shit anymore. She's like, Reed, I'm taking it. Alright. Dragging it across the floor.
Alright, sweetie, just don't disturb me while I'm sciencing.
Then slamming the door, it getting caught in the door, having to open it back up.
It is genuinely
Taking
so
about
funny
5
that
minutes
you
for the
do it.
cum to circulate through the urethra.
Jesus.
Oh, Christ, Jesus, guy!
God.
Good God!
That is-
We're
that is-
we're
it
gonna
is
have to
funny
cut that out!
No, we gotta keep it.
Oh, that's funny.
It is interesting that one of the core plots of this movie is Doctor Doom slowly being cucked, and
It was
by
so
the
good.
sexiest man in the entire world it is literally the meme of the girl going screaming like "Come back to bed, honey," and
Yeah.
he's just like, "No, I must build machine."
But it's so funny that they don't even break up officially until right at the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were clearly clearly he was being cucked earlier than that.
Oh yeah, obviously. Like that was practically an affair at that point.
It's all like the implication. It's like it made it really seem like Doom hadn't visited them since the very beginning, and like,
Yeah.
but
I haven't seen her in
he's
3
visited, like,
months.
2-3 times in months.
Yeah.
Hey, are you still going over to his place to try and fix Ben? Yeah.
Yeah, I
We can
live
make
there,
good progress. Okay. Do you want me to make dinner? No. Oh,
Don't say
okay.
I'll be back in the morning.
Are you sleeping over here tonight? No, I have a bed here. Oh, okay.
Also, can we just say how much of a reckless prick Johnny is for breaking quarantine?
I love him.
Oh,
I love him
yeah.
for
Breaking quarantine to go skiing.
it. Think of our ADHD friends. Yet
Okay,
again,
yeah, that's true.
I gotta bring it up again. Roommate Josh, he would do that.
What,
He
break
would
quarantine to go skiing with a woman?
Yes.
Yes.
No,
No, I
he
can see it.
absolutely
He
would.
believes he has fire powers. He would never stay inside.
That's yeah, okay.
We'd
yeah,
be
that's
lucky if we saw that man ever again.
fine. Alright. I feel like this is something we have to discuss in at least one of these episodes. This is
Yeah.
something I talked to Sky about the other day. Which are we?
Oh,
Finn, I don't want to give you the sexist idiot because I don't think you're smart enough.
Wow! Well, I was gonna give you Johnny Storm, but now I want to give you the thing.
Nah, you're Reed, Finn. You get Reed.
Thank you.
Sky,
Sexist idiot all the way.
I'm Ben Grimm, I know.
no, you're not Ben Grimm.
No, you don't think so?
You're Dr. Doom.
This
Oh!
desperately begging for sex.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll be Dr. Doom.
No, right, Sue Storm, I said.
Oh, sorry.
Desperately
I'm Sue
begging
Storm?
for sex.
And invisible.
Oh. That just made that sad. Take it back, Jacob. Take it back.
So that's why they never got it on. Because she felt invisible.
I would hope to be a Johnny, but I believe I'm the thing.
Can only get with a blind woman.
Oh!
So mean.
That's wild.
Oh my god.
Actually, no. I to be honest, I also think I'm a Reed out of all this.
Yeah. We
Because
can
like,
all be
the Ben
sexist
Grimm is like
idiots.
being the Benetton means you have to be like the muscle, like the one that people look through for wisdom as well, or like being just older. Brendan would be Ben. Josh, like
Josh
the
is
ideal picks for that I think our group would have.
Josh is our Johnny.
Josh is Johnny. Brendan is Ben. And I think that you two and the other two work fine. Which means
Yeah.
you do have to fuck. And I guess what that makes...
Well,
I think the funniest one is probably Madeline as Dr. Doom.
And then Nico as Herbie, who didn't appear in this film, but is an integral part of
Herbie.
Fantastic Four. Herbie is that little robot.
yeah. And who's was it Ricky or whoever the son of Reed and Sue is?
Fuck, what is his name? Franklin.
Franklin, yeah.
What is basically a god?
Yeah.
There we go, that's Jacob.
Powers. True.
My eyes glossed over. You guys started being fucking nerds.
The god who is also a child.
Yep. Franklin Richard Storm guy.
I know they had a daughter as well, but I don't know enough about her to really make a comment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, like, unless we have anything else that we wanted to add to this, should we get on to the reviews?
I think that's a good idea.
There isn't many reviews for this movie.
There is.
Really? It's like 8.
There are multiple pages. Just click on.
There's heaps.
If you click on,
I practically pressed more. We're fine.
Yeah, I'll start 4.5 by Megan. How movie bad when Chris Evans shirtless?
Exactly.
Yeah. And then Lainey with 3.5 stars. The CGI is so bad, but everyone is hot, so it's okay. And then Jacob, whichever one you want.
Top 1 by Trin. This is a good movie. Full stop.
I
agree.
I also like 3 stars by Ricky Bobby. Debbie might be the worst person in any movie ever. 6 out of 10.
Who's Debbie again?
That's the Thing's ex-wife.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Genuinely insane.
Oh, Kayla with 2 stars. Johnny Storm sexy. Yep, wonderful.
Nino with 5 stars. I don't understand why this film gets so much hate. I got my first hand job in the theatre during it. 10 out of 10. Hand job wasn't bad either.
I don't think we're beating that one.
I think that's one of the best reviews I've ever seen for a film.
That's so good. Just and then Keegan, 5 stars. Avengers Endgame wishes. You know what? I wish it. You know what? Out of these two, out of Endgame and Fantastic Four, which movie would you rather get a hand job to? I'm betting Fantastic Four.
I'd be too engrossed in Fantastic Four.
There is enough downtime in Endgame for me to get one out.
No, there's so much downtime in Fantastic. Truly, Fantastic Four makes the most sense because I was mostly half-chubbed the entire time anyway. When Jessica Alba was on screen, like, makes sense.
Chubbed the entire time.
And whoever I'm with has Johnny Storm there too. So like the Storms together, those siblings, they do a lot for their fans.
Yeah, they do.
Also, modern movies missing it too. There's a lot less sex icons in superhero movies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
I mean, look,
setting a bad precedent.
It is. Bring it back.
It
is arguably one of the most important things about comic books. So many of those comic books
representation
have way too sexually.
Yeah.
And I stand for it.
You know what? You know what? I'm starting to see where you come from, Jacob. I remember when I remember like looking through old comic books and I'm like, whoa, they're not wearing a lot. Whoa, Squirrel Girl pretty.
Squirrel Girl is a child for most of the comics.
Finn, we can't think of things like this.
Yes, we can.
Finn, I've seen your takes on My Hero Academia.
She has an apartment in New York or some shit.
Yeah, like for most of her original run, that's she was a child.
Whoops, never mind then. Yucky. That's gross.
Finn, I know your devious ideas about My Hero Academia. All right, you don't stand on any leg here.
Wasn't the last time we talked about that when we were 17?
Yeah, they're still way younger.
I was also a child then.
Problematic age gap.
Is?
2 years.
And Danny with 2 stars. It's nice to remind yourself once in a while how bad superhero films used to be. I disagree, Danny. Superhero movies used to be awesome.
Sky, you're the same as that person.
No, I'm not!
You are. You rated it the same.
Well, it's fine, because I changed it. I updated mine.
You updated it to mid as fuck, alright? Don't.
No, it's at least
high
above mid.
Yeah, you guys both stand on this movie being mid as fuck, and look, that's fine. It's not your cup of tea, which I understand. You guys don't really care. You don't like superheroes.
We don't have as refined a taste as you.
Yeah, you don't like superheroes, and you don't care that much for boobs. And like, I can't get behind what you guys are on.
This is a really hard 2v1.
Yeah. Wait, what?
It's a really hard 2v1 where Jacob is fighting the fight and we're losing.
Yeah.
Like, it's a 2v1, but the odds are Jacob 90, us 10.
I love superhero films. This one is just, there are too many flaws for it to go above a 3 stars, but I physically cannot give it below a 3 stars.
I mean, hey, Jacob, if this makes you happier, I gave the Silver Surfer movie higher.
I gave it lower, but that's...
I don't know yet.
Okay. I found one last review. 4 stars by Eddie the Plankton. Watching drag queens read storybooks will not turn your son gay, but watching shirtless Chris Evans in Fantastic Four 2005 definitely will. As someone who watched Fantastic Four 2005, probably in 2008, yes.
Well, I know. Well, this is how we know that you can't be turned gay, because I didn't even remember that he had many shirtless scenes in that one. I did remember all of Jessica Alba's.
Yeah, but you were turned straight by looking at Jessica Alba.
I saw both of them, and therefore I take everyone.
And I feel
it all depends on which area of the movie we just happen to like blink more during.
Yeah. Where my eyes were wide open during that skiing scene.
My eyes were for My eyes were for the woman in the skiing scene.
Yeah.
My eyes were wide open.
In that skiing scene, I was imagining myself as Johnny Storm.
Oh, I was
imagining yourself as the woman.
Yeah.
And Sky was imagining himself being near them,
watching from
the bushes.
Oh no, that's probably true. But then I was also thinking of chasing after that big orange freak.
Okay. I want to put it out there of like what I remember from Silver Surfer before we get there in the next episode.
Yeah.
What I'm expecting going into this is I think Sue yet again cucks her man with a new man, and I think it's the Silver Surfer himself. I'm pretty sure Dr. Doom comes back and manipulates the Silver Surfer to doing some wacky wild shit. And they swap powers a lot using a different machine. That's all I got.
All right. Okay. Interesting take.
We'll see how well I do.
Very interesting take.
Yeah. And we'll see how well you do.
I remember liking the movie less and liking this one more. We'll see how much that stays about the time next episode comes.
Yeah.
All right.
Which will be next week on Why Did We Watch This Movie?
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't know why I said that like a fucking Total Drama Island.
Yeah.
I feel that is a good place to call it.
Yeah, I think so. But Jacob, anything to shout out or promote?
No.
No? Not at all?
Sure? Nothing at all?
TikToks are now getting thousands of views.
Yeah, but still, they could be getting millions of views if you said the name of the show.
True. DNT.
I'm also on it.
Mm-hmm. And Sky edits those TikToks that have gotten thousands of views.
Yep, that's
and
me.
And occasionally makes an appearance, either by laughing in the background or DMing a one-shot. So if you want to see me and Sky and Jacob in person, watch it.
Yeah, no, that's on the big screen. In person, you have to meet us at IRL.
If in
You'll
person,
get
you'll have to
you
get.
meet us IRL if you watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Enough,
No,
fair enough.
yeah, you're basically there with us. You're our friend. You're the other player at the table.
Yeah. If you want to meet us IRL, you would have to get very unlucky and see us on the streets.
Unless for some reason we do a live show of D&T.
Which we probably will never do.
But yeah, wonderful. Yep, D&T, check that shit out. And yep, this movie is incredible. Thank you for coming, Jacob. Yeah, that's about it. We will see you all in the cinemas. Bye-bye.
Bye.